Hello and a very good morning. Welcome along to Craft, Chat, Create. It is Tuesday morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. It is definitely Tuesday, isn't it? Oh, thank you. What a way to start the show. So it's Tuesday morning and the gallery just gone, no, what are you talking about? It's definitely Tuesday. Don't do that because I don't need any help at this point in the morning to get confused. We are here to bring you 3 hours of crafty fun, but also bring you a bit of hashtag banter as well with the old chat. A little bit later on, going to be chatting more about today's National Day, which is Roll Swap Day, can you believe? That could be potentially a little bit of fun later on. And also we're asking you, if you would like to swap into a role here at Crafters TV, which role would you like to swap into? Get in touch on Facebook and on YouTube, and we'll be chatting more about that a little bit later on. Lots of great deals for you, and as we had yesterday morning, if you've got an early morning budget of say £20, $20, lots of great deals coming your way. Plus we've got a brilliant morning must-have. But before we go into all of that, let me welcome my crafty partner in crime over the course of the next 3 hours. Happy Burns Night, Craig.
Thank you so much. So good. This is our first Craft Chat Create together.
Is it?
It is, yeah. So looking forward to this one. 3 hours. We do have a little bit break and then we're on for an hour and a half straight after. It's me and Ben morning.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Hey. But while we show you what we've got coming up, we're going to be having a look at our Build-a-Bouquet stamp and dies. If you love your florals, you can then, of course, start to build your own bouquet. Now, we've got 4 options, but you are getting them all together. So what that means is you can mix and match, but then not necessarily building your bouquet in the vases that you get. What about creating your own frame?
Cute.
But then we've got something that's not been seen for a wee while, and that is our abstract dies. These are fun. So if you do like to just create that abstract look, one pass through your Gemini and it's done. But if you do want to do paper piecing, you can do it. For instance, these ones here. Lots of different shapes we're going to go through. But then what about using them to create shakers? You absolutely can do that. We've got glitter on the show coming up thanks to Hunky Dory. So we'll be using all of them. But then what about our make a statement? Now we've got all the alphabet apart from about 2 letters.
We haven't got M,
so
have we?
M and X. So X, we're not too bothered about that. When do you really use X a lot? M,
You're not a big fan of X, no?
No.
What M?
No, M's good, although yes, we don't have the M, but just think what you could use. Turn an E the other way round. Turn the W upside down. So then you can still be getting the effect of an M. But all these different things you can be doing. You can go as simplistic as you want, go as detailed as you want. They're stamps, they're dies. We're going to use them with the MIDI as well. Lots of things coming up on the next 3 hours.
Yeah, it's going to be jam-packed fun. Loads of bargains for you as well. Already got a few people in. Do you know what? It's so lovely. We've got all the guys waking up here in the UK. Lil J Craft is with us. Jane Wilson is in. Sandra Dunder says, good morning, everyone, from just down near Teesside Airport. Just down the road. Or is that up the road? I still can't get me geography here. Sarah Brown says, hello, Craig and Ben. Coming from the future. Well, Marty! We're going back to the future. Wait, a few hours ahead. It's Tuesday evening here, 7 o'clock, says Sarah. And Karen says, good morning from Kentucky. It's 3 a.m. and I stayed up to watch Ben and Craig. Well, we appreciate that so much. I'm sure our UK viewers will be joining us very, very soon. A little bit slow getting out of bed here in the UK. Lazy. Listen, it is good that you're up early, though, because I can introduce you to what is going to be today's morning must-have. And this is one of our brilliant machines, and I can say it's brilliant because it's the machine that I long-term borrowed from Craig, which we have in our household, and I absolutely love it. You are saving 20% today on the Gemini Midi. This is such a brilliant machine for the fact that there's no complication with this, right? You are literally going to use your plastic folder and your purple plastic shim for all of your die cutting and all of your embossing as well. There's nothing complicated about this at all. The other great thing about this, as you can see, is it's a completely portable manual machine, yet you still get all of the power and precision you would expect from our electronic machines, yet in a manual. So we talk about this being manual, we talk about this being easy to use. Everybody now says that this machine is simplicity without electricity. It's such a brilliant machine, and what I would say is if you are brand new to crafting and you want a die cutting and embossing machine that's going to do the job for you, but you don't want to spend a huge amount of money, you don't want to outlay, more money perhaps on an electronic machine first off, then a MIDI is a great place to start, particularly today. $55.99 is your price here in the UK, $71.96 if you're platinum, or indeed if you're shopping for the first time today and you signed up to Club Inspire, that price at the bottom of the screen is yours, $44.79 or $57.57. If you're a ClearPay customer and you're here in the UK, you can pick the MIDI up today for just £14. If you're not yet a ClearPay customer and you would like to find out how you can do that, there are details on our website, but it's a great way to be able to spread the cost interest-free over the course of 4 installments. Now, if you have got the MIDI, you'll probably want something with it to get playing with. What about the Build-a-Bouquet collection? I love this collection because when you think about how often you use flowers within your craft, it's pretty much most days, right? And when you think about flowers, how many occasions can you use them for? Pretty much every one. And this particular collection allows you to become your own paper craft florist because you can make and build your own bouquets. Now, the great thing about this collection today, you've probably already spied, is the price, because it's a £52, $60 bundle that you are saving 65% on. Yeah, I know, the whistling in the gallery. This is the best price we've ever done it for. Look at the ClearPay as well today, by the way. If you are a ClearPay customer, what you can pick this up for, $4.55. And also what I would say to you is, before we look through the boards, normally, what I would say is, if you can't afford the full collection, go and make your own mini bundle. However, I will tell you today, do not do that, because, I don't know why this has happened, it's more expensive to make up your own bundle. The multi-buy is more expensive than the full set of 4. It's 2 for $23 on the multi-buy.
Really?
Yes, or 4 for $18 for the lot. I mean, I'm not a mathematician, but that is this. You want this. You don't want that, do you?
Absolutely not.
No. But in essence, what you're getting here is a really, really craftable set. All of the stamps and dies to be able to, build your own bouquets. What I love about this as well is the fact that we give you your little receptacles. Well, that's a good word for this time of the morning. You get all of the little vases in here. You've got little jam jars in there as well. You've also got the different flower heads. You've got the different stems. You've got foliage in there. So you really, truly do have the ability to create your own bouquet, whether you're going to make this the centerpiece of your project, whether you're just going to use, embellishments or little flourishes, as little embellishments for your cards, or as Craig's already shown us, you can build these up to create your own little wreaths to maybe pop a sentiment in the center of. You've got ultimate accessibility for the fact that you've got all the dies to cut out your stamped images, and what a buy today. Promised you deals under £20, under $20. If you're platinum, you are laughing. $14.54 or $16.74 is your deal. Let us have a little look at these though. With Craig, keep the comments and the hellos coming in. We'll do a little bit of a roll call very shortly indeed. But you've been having a play with these. These were a lot of fun, aren't they?
They're fun because you've got lots of options, Ben, so you can use the stamps on their own, but then you've got the dies, so then you can create your decoupage if you want, your layering, your frames, your apertures, you can do all of that. So I thought what we'll do is, seeing on the show today we've got watercolour card, we've got waterproof ink pads, we've got aqua pens on the show, we've got quick dry, so for this demo we're going to tie in quite a few of these elements. So before we actually move on to building our bouquet and doing a bit of colouring, what I'm going to do here is I've got a piece, now this is just my white smooth stamping card for now, and you could, if you wanted to, if all you've got is watercolour card, what am I way to do? You could do on the watercolour card, but I'm not actually going to be doing any colouring as such at this point, so that's why I've just gone and opted for my white smooth stamping card. So what I'm going to do with these ones is I'm going to go in with my stamps, and then you get a few different kinds. For instance, you get ones that you can colour in, and then you've got ones that make that it's kind of like a flat design. Okay. And this is when what you've got is you've got good option for using your ink pads, which is I'm away to do in a moment. So I'm taking a few of these, and I want a couple of the leaves or the foliage. So we've got them ones, we've got them ones, and we've got these ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my stamping mat as well as my 6x6 stamping platform, because we've got these on the show as well today, yes. Ben. So I've got my card, so it is 6x6 for this one. Got my inks here, and then what I've done is I have got Spring Meadow. These are all quick dry, and these are on the show as well. Pink Tulip, and actually I think I'm just going to stick with these two for now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop one at a time, and I'm going to create my own little frame all the way around. So I'm going to go in, and then let's pull it down so I've got my platform on my mat. And then you've got your 4 spring-loaded feet on here.
Yes.
So my stamp's underneath. I've got my ink on there, but it's not secured to my cardstock just yet. Does not attach to the cardstock until you actually press down. So I can decide by looking, do I want it here? Do I want it there? Always, when I say always, if you're going to start to create a frame, I suggest stamp off your card, more realistic. So that's why I'm off my card as well as on my card. So when I'm happy where I want it, I'm going to press, release, and then we've got our impression that you can see here. So that's with the Spring Meadow. So what I'm going to do is randomly stamp a few of these ones. So again, I'm going to go press, commit, and then I've got my impression down here. So these are good for going and laying straight onto your card. You don't have to use the dies if you don't want to. You know, by all means, only use your stamps, but it's good that you've got that option. So if you are wanting to quite literally build a bouquet, you've got the dies, you don't need to worry about fussy cutting. But then remember, if you are a little bit more advanced, or you want to opt in to try in other techniques, what you can start to do, Ben, is build a bouquet, but things like your masking sheets and your masking gum, that sort of thing. So you don't even need to come along with your dies to build a bouquet. So lots and lots of little alternatives you can then be doing with these, even although you're getting all 4 sets for that incredible price.
Better than the multi-buyer course
exactly.
As well today. We've popped the bottom of the screen the details for the ink pad collection, of which one of them is the Spring Meadow, which Craig is using 20% discount on those today, $23.95 or $38.16. You also get Pink Tulip, Plum Jam, Parakeet, Ocean Blue, and Crushed Velvet. Got to say morning to Caroline, who's in Edinburgh. Happy Burns night.
Fab.
Do you have a Burns day as well, or why is it just Burns night?
It's Burns Day.
Oh, Burns Day.
Burns Day.
Okay, because it's a Scottish thing, isn't it? Celebrating Rabbie Burns.
Rabbie Burns.
The poet.
The poet.
Yes.
Yes. There's a famous, funny Scottish poem.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember the whole lot, but it starts with, "You've hurt your finger, you poor wee man, your pinky, dearie me. Now just you had it that way till I get my specs and see." And then there's like 3 other verses, but I can never remember it.
Is that Robbie Burns, or is that?
No, that is that's just one that gets said in Scotland.
Right, I need to. How does it start?
Just
what? You hurt.
Just put you hurt your finger.
How do you spell that?
Finger.
Hurt.
It's Scottish, Erin.
Finger.
You've hurt your finger.
Finger.
You poor wee man. Your pinky.
Poor wee man.
You're literally typing that, aren't you?
Yeah, I've written into Google, "You hurt your finger,
just put Scottish poem.
Man."
That'll come up. Are you going to end up getting me to read it out?
The Sir Finger by Walter Wingate.
There you go. Right, let's take a moment then. You read it out then.
You've hurt your finger, poor wee man. Your pinky, dear me. No, just you had it that way till I get me specs and see. The second verse. Mice. Can I do it with Sean Connery? My, show a dish. And there's the skelf. The skelf.
The skelf. It's like, if you get a splinter.
No, dinny greet nae mair. See See there! See there! Me needle's gotten taut! I'm sure that wasn't see ya! This is two more. And no! That's gone Geordie now. I got to show. And no, to make it hail the morn, put on a wee bit shaw and tie a bonny hanky round. No, there's nary na war. You're not telling me you understand this.
I do. Well, I don't understand what you're saying.
Your fingers share, Annie, ye rogue. You only let on. Wheel then, see no. There you are. Round up the same as John. That's the poem. Yes. I have no idea what that was all about, but Burns Night, oof, I mean, it's going to be a big one, isn't it? There's poems like that to be read through the evening.
Oh, dear.
What is that? What? Anyway.
I think what I might do later on is I'll film myself reading it and then post it.
Yeah, do it, because I think you'll probably read it better than I did. Who said I was butchering that? Rebecca, thank you. Whoa, dear. Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Ben, you're butchering that poem. You've cheered me up, though, before I head to work. And Gemma says, I love hearing English trying to talk Scottish.
It is funny when you hear that, yeah.
Oh, dear.
People trying. I just like accents in general, people trying to do accents.
I love the Scottish accent. It's a great accent. The Irish accent is great as well.
Yeah.
I love the American accent as
well. So do I.
I love Erin's accent in the gallery today.
Yep.
Love how she said lilac this morning.
Yeah. What was it she said? Lilac.
Lilac.
I like how they say, like YouTube, they go YouTube. Or Tuesday. I love all that.
Producer Georgina says that as well, if you've ever noticed.
Does she?
Yeah, she's from the Midlands.
From the Midlands?
She says YouTube. Anyway.
So I've literally randomly stamped. That was with the Spring Meadow and the Pink Tulip, which was the quick dry. That's all I've done. I'm not going into the centre here because we're going to end up covering it up just shortly. So that's my background. So you can see now that yes, you've got background papers at home, but if you want to create your own, you absolutely can do. So then what we're going to do, the name and the title is Build-a-Bouquet.
Yes.
So that's exactly what we're going to do here. So we're going to go in with the remaining stamp sets here, and we're going to do them. Now you can either, and I say this all the time if you do watch any of our Crafters TV shows, you can either stamp and die cut or die cut and stamp. I prefer to die cut and then stamp, and I'll show you why in a moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a load of these onto my cardstock, and this is our watercolour card that I'm using here. So what we can do is go on, and then I'm going to tape these down for now using my...
What's that one top middle? It looks like a banana.
That one?
Yeah.
That's that one that I've just stamped.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like a banana.
Or a little caterpillar or something, or...
Yeah. Or chili.
Yeah, it could be.
Or a... No,
could be anything you wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want it to be.
Linny Jones has just tuned in saying, I've just turned on and Ben is having a Scottish meltdown. That was a dreadful accent, Ben. No haggis for you tonight. And Caroline says, you were reading Doric, a form of Scots from the northeast Scotland, Ben. I have not seen Sandra's message, no. Poor Craig, listen to the accents being murdered. My mother-in-law is cringing in her grave. I didn't think it was that bad. That was a bit of a harsh.
No, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I say, I like hearing people doing accents. I think it's funny. I don't find it offensive in the slightest. I think it's fun.
You say the nicest things.
But it's true, though. It's true. But here we go. We've got our die cut pieces. Now I used our Midi that we have got on the show. If you have got our Mini as well, these will work with the Mini, but as you can see, no problem at all with the Midi here. So with it being the Midi, it's folder based. So all that I've done is pop my dies onto my cardstock and then wound them through the folder. So let's take these ones here. So I've got a lot of bits already done as well, so we don't need to spend time doing loads and loads and loads. I can show you why I like to do my die cutting first. So let's come in, we're bringing these ones in. So what I can then do is our stamps match our dies. So we can see how that one matches that one. So the jar matches the jar. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to wipe off a little bit of the excess ink that I've got on here, because my jar is slightly bigger. So what would have happened is, because I would have popped it onto my ink, it would have slid about. So make sure you wipe away any remaining ink. And because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my aqua pens we've got on the show, which are water-based. Therefore, at Crafter's Companion, what Leanne and Product Development team is made it a lot easier for you when it comes to ink pads. So you don't need to worry about thinking about, other ink pads out there. You have to think about the opposite of what you're using. We've made it simple for you. Waterproof dye ink pad. You use it for your watercolour card. It tells you there, waterproof. It also shows you paintbrush and water as well with some watercolour in. So that lets you know this is the one that you need for your watercolour in, and it's on the show.
Flagstone is 70% gone, by the way, if you want to grab that. We've got the 2 different colours available for you, but Flagstone 70% gone. $4.99 or $7.49. We've also got Pebble on the show for you as well. Shop the show. It's a busy morning. It is a biz morning. Sandra says, Ben, having said that, Ben, you sounded like you belong in our house, because my husband is from Craig's home ground and I'm a Geordie by birth. And Linny says, Ben, as a Scot, I wasn't offended either. I thought it was hysterical. Well, thank you so much.
You tried, and you tried well. You tried well, and you tried well.
I tell you what, producer Erin, yes, it was a role swap. So we did. I swapped into the Scottish side of things, because it's roll swap day today, in case you didn't know.
Don't ask me to do accents. I'm not good at them. I'm really not good at accents.
Is that a test of do ask me because I want
No, I'm saying I can't do accents. Oh. I wish I could. I absolutely wish I could, but no.
Yeah, that's true actually. You said lilac like an American.
Okay, yeah, I can say things like lilac and pastel, like the Americans. Tuesday.
Can you do the Irish accent?
Top of the morning to you, laddie. I can do that. You look like a pop star, you sound like a pop star, but you're not a pop star.
Is that Louis Walsh?
Louis Walsh.
See, there you go. I recognise that one. Can you do an Australian accent? Because Sarah's been in touch, Sarah Brown, and she was saying, I was watching the replay of your masterclass show yesterday when you did masculine cards. You were talking a lot about neighbours and sausages, and we do call them snags. It made me laugh so much. I can't believe neighbours will be ahead in the UK. That is mind blowing. So yeah, just wondering, what's your Aussie accent like?
Good day, mate. You flaming galah, stone the flaming crows. That's about it. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie. See, that's not.
It started strong, I think, didn't it?
And then it just went downhill. Because I'm not good at them.
Oh, Rachel says Craig can do Mrs. Doubtfire.
Hello! Euphigenia Doubtfire, dear. Oh, I must look like a yeti to you, dear.
That is brilliant. Close my eyes.
My favourite one is the one, though, that I can't say live.
Oh, no, don't do that one.
There's a good one.
Yep. Talking about movies, we're having a little movie afternoon, aren't we?
We are indeed.
Hey, whoa!
Craig and Ben's
movie
mate
afternoon.
date.
Mate date. Yeah.
Eventually, after months and months and months of trying to watch the new Halloween film.
Oh yeah.
Although we've both stayed strong, there's times that you could have watched it, but you didn't. There's times I could have watched it, but I didn't. We stuck to our guns where we said, no, we were going to watch it together. And we've waited, and the time has come.
I think I've been lucky, because any other time, I think I probably would have watched it on my own, because I do love the franchises, but the fact that there's been so many other good movies out, like the new Bond movie, the new Ghostbusters movie, by the way, which was awesome!
So good, wasn't it?
Red Notice, it was on Netflix, which I watched.
So good.
I wasn't that bothered about that.
No?
No, because you were singing its praises, weren't you?
Yeah.
Or did you say it was just okay? I can't remember.
No, I said it was
Oh, you
brilliant.
liked it.
I loved it. Absolutely loved it, yeah.
But no, Halloween, the new one later on. What are you going to do? Like draw your curtains and have you got like blackout curtains and stuff?
So I don't have the blackout curtain, so I'm going to draw the curtains, and then what I'm going to do is I am going to get like another blanket or duvet or something and throw it over the window to really make it dark. Because it'll be like, what, 2 in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that. So I want to try and make it really black, of course. So yeah, that won't get the neighbours talking. So what, I don't know if you noticed there, Ben.
Sorry, yes?
A moment ago, I stamped this one with black. So this is a stamp. I stamped it with black and then I stopped and then I changed my mind. And that's because this one is a solid stamp. So I don't actually want a solid black foliage. So that's why I stopped. So what I'm doing is I'm just clearing off the ink. So this is where you've got the option where we can colour in, which we're away to do in a moment. Or if I come in with a spring meadow, now I'm going to stamp it. So this is what I mean by make sure your stamping platform is nice and dry. Otherwise, if it's not, your stamp's just going to move about like it is there. So I'm going to press at the bottom here. So I'm going to let me take a wipe, Ben. If you find over time, sometimes your stamps start to slide about. It could be that you've got an excess build-up of ink. It could be that you've been using embossing powders near it. It could be that you've maybe not used it for a while and you've got some dust or anything like that. So always make sure that it's nice, clean and dry. And then don't ever be scared to give your stamp a bit of a wipe as well, because that can attract dust, that can attract embossing powder, anything like that as well. So I'm just dabbing that dry. I would use a microfiber cloth, but I'm dabbing that dry, and then I'm stamping that one on, and then that one is a lot better now. So what I can then do is I can then hover over the top. And that's a good thing with our stamping platforms is we can hover, so you don't have to commit until you're ready. And because the white sits against our purple mat, that's why I find it easier to die cut first, because I can crystal clearly see where I need to stamp. Whereas if you were to stamp first and pop your die around it, sometimes you can be a little bit off. So it's personal preference, horses for courses, give it a shot both ways if you've never tried it before, and then see what one you prefer. So I've got a few that I've already done here. So these ones were Spring Meadow. These ones, I did use the grasshopper as well. It's not in the bundle, but you will find additional colours on the website if you wanted to stock up.
Kathy wants to know, Spring Meadow more of a yellow colour. It's a light green, isn't it?
It's a light green, yeah.
It's on my screen, to be honest.
Think of it as like a highlighter green.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is definitely a green, more green than it is yellow. So yeah, that works in with the foliage or the leaves sort of colour. So that's these ones. So what we can then do now is let's put these onto my glass mat and we can start to do a little bit of watercolouring. And I'm going to bring it, there's a few ways you can do this one, Ben. Is either using a paintbrush and water, that's one way of doing it. You do get water brushes, so it's like a pen, but you fill it with tap water and it's a brush at one end here. So it saves you having to carry a paintbrush and water all the time. You can then just pop it into your craft bag, it's there good to go. The alternative, and I would actually what I'm away to use, is on our website you'll find our sparkle pens, and this is our clear sparkle pen. So what this is, basically, it is a clear liquid sparkle. So instead of using water, we're using the clear sparkle, and you're getting a little bit of sparkle with it. So it works really, really well. I think as well, Ben, don't we? We'll have a few different deals with them.
We do, yeah. There's we had a deal yesterday. You can get a 2-pack, saving over 15%. You can get, yes, you get the deal from yesterday with 2 glossy highlights that we had on Craft Chat Create yesterday. So there's quite a few deals if you want to jump in and grab those. So you pop some colour down there. Are you using the aqua pens?
I am indeed.
Now.
So this colour I'm using is, so the colour is aquamarine.
Aquamarine, yeah.
And it is from the primary set.
Yeah.
So what I've done is, for me, again, personal preference, I like to pop my ink onto my glass mat.
Yeah.
So you can either use a glass mat or you can be using your craft mat that we can see here. Mm-hmm. Again, you'll find these on the website as well. I prefer to pop it onto my glass mat and then pick up my ink from there. And then because it's watercolour cardstock, it makes it more movable. We can then start to pretty much paint with it. We can start to do our watercolour effects. So all that I've done is I've gone in quite heavy-handed to the left-hand side, and then what I'm doing is with my sparkle pen, which, keeping in mind, just think of it as a water brush, but you've got sparkle in it. So now all of our colours are going to have a nice sparkly glaze. It's nothing coarse, it's really smooth, but you get a lovely sparkle with it. And what I'm going to keep doing is dragging it out as far as I can.
Yeah.
And then it will get a lot more subtler, but you will start to see, you can then start to blend the colour out. It works an absolute treat. I adore using things like our water-based collection, such as our aqua pens.
Sandra's just said that's safer for Michelle McCarthy, that water brush. Did she have an accident?
Did she?
A big one. Oh, it was during a craft along. She'd finished a project and then she knocked over her. Oh no, she knocked her water all over the top of it.
Oh no.
So if you are a bit clumsy, then these are probably better than having glasses of water.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Oh,
I would suggest.
Sparkle, that's amazing.
But look at that. So it also gives you like a glazed effect as well. It's not a glaze. You could come along with your glossy highlights if you want, but you've got that blended look, but that's just using one colour. That was aquamarine, and with the sparkle. That will dry and get a little bit more sparkly. So we can then go in with what could be the peony. So I tell you what, let's take it as a peony. Let's stick with the primary, and then let's use the purple and magenta. And you can start to mix these together. You can blend together. So with the aqua pens, you get a brush nib at one side, and then you get your fine nib at the other, so your nice precision point. I never use that side, Ben. Never use it, nope. Always use the brush side, and I always lay it down, as I say, onto my glass mat. I'm using the two together. We could blend them together, but you could come along and you could add a little bit of yellow if you wanted to. Maybe go a little bit darker using the burgundy if you want. You can absolutely do that. So what I'm then going to do is, let's go in. This is where, if you were to blend them together, pull the colours in, so they meet into the middle, and then you've got your new colour. So you're not set with just the colours within these sets. You can then start to make your own blends and your own shades. So that's how you would start to blend them together.
And does that ink not stain the brush?
So certain colours will start to stain, but don't worry about it. As long as you've got the excess colour off your brush, it's not going to affect any of your future watercolouring or any of your techniques. So even afterwards, if I was to come with a yellow or that, it's not going to stain it. As long as you get the excess off, a little bit of scrap card, that's all that you need, and you're going to be good to go.
And talking of staining, Kathy says, will the ink stain the craft mat?
No. Craft mat or glass mat's a non-porous surface.
All wipe clean, isn't
so all it's going to do is wipe clean. And what I would suggest is any excess ink that you would have, what you could do is always have little bits of cardstock at the side, watercolour card. So once I would finish, of course, for the sake of the show and time, I would wipe it up. But what you could do is spritz it with water, dab your cardstock on, and then you can start to create your own sort of backgrounds if you want to. Mm-hmm. But yeah, because your glass mat and your craft mat is a non-porous surface, it is then going to wipe away clean, no problem at all.
How much ink do you need to lay down, says Kathy?
Very little. Such a good question. So good questions when it comes to these ones. And very little. That's my nail. That was the
Yeah.
blue that I used. Okay, it was only for the jar here,
Yeah.
but that's going to keep going and going and going. So you really do need very, very little when it comes to laying down the inks, Ben.
And is the best way to use these when you're mixing them is to mix them on the mat previous rather than mixing them once you put them onto the image, right?
Yeah, so you can put them direct onto your cardstock and then blend them together. But for me, again, personal preference, I find it a lot easier blending them onto my glass mat so I can get them to the exact shade I want or the exact colour that I want,
Yeah.
and then I can transfer it onto my glass mat.
I see.
Because if I get it to the shade that I want on one petal of the floral, it's going to be near all impossible to get that same shade for the next one. So at least if I've combined it onto my glass mat or craft mat, I've got it there, and then I can start reapplying it to the shade that I want.
And a question from Gemma says, Craig, do you like Skirly? I didn't when I lived in Scotland, but I love it now. My sister brought some down. Is that something you've eaten or know about? I have to Google that now.
Gosh, I've
Skirly.
not heard of that for years and years and years.
Skirly.
Is that something?
A Scottish dish made from oatmeal, fried with fat, onions and seasonings. The skirl indicates the noise made by the frying ingredients.
God, that takes me back years. And no, I didn't like it. Yeah.
Doesn't look too appetizing,
No.
actually.
No.
Wow.
Gosh, yeah. My granddad used to make that.
Really?
Yeah. He did indeed.
Mince and tatties with Skirly.
I'll stick with the mince and tatties without the skirly. Yeah. Oh my God, that's just taken me
taken
right
you back.
back. It has, yeah.
Yes.
It's taken me right back. But no, I didn't like it. Who's to say that I might not like? I might like it now. It's been years,
They
but
say your taste buds change every 7 years, don't they?
was it every 7 years?
I thought, 5 or 7. Because up until I met Laura in, whenever that was, 2001, that you bring olives near to me, they used to make me nearly want to,
Like me, yeah.
But she was a massive olive fan, so obviously on dates and stuff, you try and you're like, oh yeah, love olives. Had olives on my first date with her. I was like, oh, hang on a minute, how do I like these all of a sudden? Now I love them.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Weird how your taste buds change. So maybe you should try a bit of Skirly. Maybe you should
Maybe I
have some
should.
tonight for Burns night.
Maybe I should,
Some
yeah.
Skirly.
Yeah. We
Is
do
it-
have some weird and wonderful.
Hey?
We do have some weird and wonderful foods in Scotland.
Oh, taste buds die off and regenerate every couple of weeks, apparently.
A couple of weeks.
Wow.
Oh, that's new to me. Should really be trying a lot of things that I don't like.
Should
Although,
you?
saying that, there's not a lot of things that I don't like, Ben. I'm quite open when it comes to trying things.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of seafood.
Oh, I love seafood.
I'm very plain prawns and seafood sauce, haddock,
Cod?
cod, yep.
Salmon?
No, I don't like salmon.
salmon.
Cooked or raw.
So the only seafood I don't really like is crab.
No, I could never get,
Like a crab sandwich. Nah.
nah.
And also, not that I eat this a lot, I'm probably putting out there the wrong sort of vibes, but lobster, because that's expensive, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand why everyone goes mad for that and why it's so expensive, because on the odd occasion I've had it, I've sort of been like, meh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take it or leave it. I don't think it's worth the expense, but... Skirly is delicious, says Caroline from Edinburgh.
I adore, going back to kind of like the Scottish and that, oats and that, adore things like black pudding and white pudding and, love it.
Oh, nah.
Yeah.
Just
Love,
the thought
love,
of what
love
it
it.
is just makes me not want to...
Yeah, I don't think about that,
No.
but I do love it. Nice.
Details of the Build-a-Bouquet collection at the bottom of your screen. Just moving on. Best price ever. 65% saving. $18.18 is your price. $20.93 less your 20% if you're platinum. Wonder if anyone's having any Skirly and black pudding for breakfast today.
Black pudding and bacon roll. Nice.
Black pudding and bacon roll.
Yeah. Nice. With loads and loads of Heinz tomato sauce.
It has
Has to be Heinz. It's got to be Heinz.
Same with the beans as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be Heinz.
No one's ever really perfected a good baked bean apart from Heinz.
Exactly.
Although other beans are available.
Beans.
I
good
knew
for your
it!
heart.
Oh, how in tune are we? I just knew you were going to start singing that. Beans, good for your heart.
The more you eat, the more you pump. So now we're going to go in for the floral set here. And I'm going to use the begonia. I'm not wanting to use the rose pink because it's kind of the same shade. I'm going to go in with the marigold with these two, and we're going to do a little bit of colour in here, and then we can start to build our bouquet.
White pudding is nice for the chicken dinner, says Sandra on YouTube.
Well, I've never had it with chicken dinner.
What? I'm not going to ask that question because I don't want to know.
What, you were ready to ask what white pudding is?
I know what black pudding is.
Yeah, no, white pudding's just like oats and that. You're all right.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Yeah.
Me too.
No.
Kathy says, is white pudding like mashed potato?
No.
It's oats.
No.
Not potato, right?
Black pudding is the colour because of what goes into it.
Yeah,
So think of white pudding as black pudding, but without all that stuff that goes into it.
White pudding, oatmeal pudding, is a meat dish popular in Scotland, Northumberland, Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. White pudding is broadly similar to black pudding, but does not include, right.
Did you say a meat dish?
Oh, sorry, I haven't got my glasses on. A mealy pudding.
Mealy? I was about to say.
No, it says it's a meat dish.
A meat dish, not a meat dish.
It consists of, a modern recipe consists of suet or fat, oatmeal or barley, bread crumbs, and in some cases, pork and pork liver.
Ah, okay, that's new to me. Never have...
Anyway, I feel like we learn a lot on these shows.
Well, yeah,
That's what
we
we're
have,
here to do.
haven't we?
Learn about the craft, learn about...
It's good that, when I'm colouring away and that, it's good that we can be learning these things as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want it just be totally silence while I'm colouring.
Imagine that'd be awkward, wouldn't it?
Because it's very repetitive, but it's nice to see how it starts to come together. So these are a few of my favourite things. So what we've got here is we've got the jar, we've got the peony, we've started to then create our own florals. If we come in some more, so this is where from the other set you can start to mix and match. So you don't have to just be tied to that one individual set. And then the foliage and the leaves that we've also got within this set that I've been using, you can then start to build them all together. So we can see we've got all these coming together. I've got my... Did I do it? There's the bow. There it is there. So what we can do, I'm going to set that to there for now. I'm going to set that there for now. Like, give myself a clean space. And then what I'm going to do here is, for the sake of the time, I'm just wiping away my excess off here, Ben. But you could be using all that up for backgrounds. And then what I'm going to do is I've taken some of our Centura Pearl cardstock. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mat and layer these ones just now. So my mats and layers are 1/4 of an inch increments. So my background here is 6 inches. So we're going to go 6 1/4 on with purple, and then we're going to go on with fuchsia. And then what I've done myself, we do have little bunting dies, but what I've done is I've created my own little bunting or flags by cutting a rectangle and then just doing a little V point at the bottom there. Really simple, didn't overthink it, just done my own little bunting points. That's what our Build-a-Bouquet is actually going to sit on.
Is that a nesting set? Because I've seen the smaller versions of
Yeah,
this.
so this I did freehand.
Oh, okay.
That was freehand, but you could use our nesting sets if you wanted to. You absolutely could do. So this is where I'm going to layer these ones up. So if you want to then create this card, because all these layers that I've done a moment ago, I done with our guillotine. Then this, I done with the guillotine as well by using it as a rectangle, and then using my scissors, created my little point here. So you don't have to have lots and lots of crafty stuff to create this card.
Yeah.
You've got your stamps, a few inks, and your stamping platform. However, if you've got lots of crafty things such as maybe your mat and layer dies, your nesting dies, you know, all your different shape ones, you can start to incorporate them. For instance, in Monday Makers, not Monday Makers, that was yesterday, in Wake Up Call Today, the next live show after Craft Chat and Create, we have got our relatively new delicate nesting dies.
Oh yes.
So it's like that ornate sort of frames with the swirls and that. You could use them to then layer up your design if you want. So then what we can then do, as we start to finish this up, again, what I've done, created my own rectangle and just freehand cut a little snip in at the side there. That's going to be with our sentiment. So let's go in with, thank you so much. Tell you what, let's go for a beautiful friend instead. And then we're going to go back in with our stamping platform. When's your birthday, Ben?
When's my what?
When's your birthday?
Well, I have to think about that. When is my birthday? April the 30th.
April the 30th?
Yeah, well, I'll be 35.
Will you?
Yep.
There we go then. I was just thinking, because then this would be good for your birthday.
Ah, thanks.
But, you know, instead of waiting until then, you can always just have it.
Well, you keep it for now.
Right.
And then near the time, put a little bit of, little note in there or something,
As in a handwritten note or a money note?
Like a money note, maybe a 20, a nice crisp 20 in there. Lovely, thank you so much.
Not made of money. Oh. Certainly not this month. It's been a long month waiting on payday coming.
How funny is that? We were chatting about that the other day, thinking it seems like about a year since the last payday.
Yeah. Gosh.
So the only bad thing is it's great, isn't it, before Christmas that you get paid early, but then January, whoa. It feels like it's the 43rd of January today, doesn't it? Not the,
exactly,
not the 25th
I know.
Or whatever it is.
And yesterday I was watching Debbie Robinson on Create & Craft here in the UK, which was going, God, hasn't January been a quick month? It usually flies and it's absolutely flown in this year. And I'm watching, I'm thinking, no, Debbie. No, it's not. It's absolutely dragged this year. Absolutely dragged, for me anyway.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with you, because you can see we've still got another week, haven't we, in
exactly,
January?
I know.
Another whole week to go.
I know.
Oh, January, hogging the year.
I know.
Give someone else a go.
We've got another 11 to go.
Yeah.
Let them have a shot.
Can I ask a couple of questions?
Of course you can.
Sandy wants to know, Craig, what is the size of the glass mat you're using? Is it the 13 by 19?
Close, 12 by 18.
12 by 18?
Yep.
Sarah C says, question.
Yep.
Tell me what you think about me. When would you cut the centre out of cutting layers? Hang on. When would you cut centre out? Basically, when would you cut the centre out of your layers to save paper, and when wouldn't you?
So, for instance here, see how I've got the fuchsia and I've got the purple?
Yeah.
I would never gut the centre of both of these, because that's 300 GSM, so that's 600 GSM worth that you're taking out the centre. So what I would do, what's more precious to me, purple or fuchsia?
Right.
So fuchsia to me is more precious, so what I would do is gut out the purple, gut out the fuchsia but leave the purple.
Because you wouldn't gut both because of the integrity of the card? Is
That's right, yeah.
Right,
yeah, I would only ever do one, gut one, I would never gut two, basically. Yeah, sorry, Aaron's thinking it looks like black. It does on the screen. It's like your chocolate box purple within this one here.
Yeah.
So just think, maybe if you're using gold Miri card and you're using Centura Pearl, I'm very lucky that I can get lots of Centura Pearl, so therefore gold Miri is quite scarce for me. So I would gut my gold Miri but leave my Centura Pearl. So I would never do both layers, because then that is, as you say, it's just going to it's going to holler out too much of your card, which you don't want.
That is a great question, and thank you for asking that.
It really is. So what I'm doing now is, for these, Build-a-Bouquet, I would still class these as embellishments, because they can be embellishments. But because you're building your bouquet, this is when I would use my glue gel. Because what you can then start to do is position them in place, and as we are building, we want to move them to get them into position, which you can do with your foam pads, but it's more forgiving, I find, with your glue gel. So therefore, what I'm doing is I'm going in with my glue gel, adding it to the back. So I'm simply starting off, roughly to start with my main florals. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to do one here, and one here. Your glue gel, if you're checking it out on the show or on our website, you do get the syringes. Very rarely do I use a syringe. I just find it easier using my poke tool and the glue gel. Hence why it's got a band-aid on it. That just reminds me, this is the one that I use for my glue gel.
Oh, is that right?
Yep. Not that it matters, but yeah, I just like to keep the same one for my glue gel.
That's good. It's a good idea, actually.
Just means if I do start to gunk it up, then it doesn't really matter. But then what you can then start to do, as you're building, you can make it as tall as you want, you can make it as wide as you want. You can literally have lots of fun by building your own bouquet. So you become your own little florist when it comes to your cards.
You may have well already chatted about this. I am listening, but I'll ask it anyway in case you haven't. Why are you using your glue gel now as opposed to your foam pads?
Are you winding me up?
What?
I've just literally spent about 90 seconds explaining.
Oh, really? Sorry, I must have zoned out.
And you're there going, right, yep. So really, you weren't listening to me there.
I was reading some of the comments coming through.
I'm not. Do you know something? I'm not even going to answer it.
No, all it was that, no, because you were talking, so I was aware that you were talking, but then I also had Erin. Did I have Erin check? But I was reading the comment coming in from Lisa, and I couldn't. So I wanted to make out that you thought that I was listening, so I didn't want to be rude, but I was also trying to read the comment that Lisa had sent in because it was quite a long comment. What's that? Yeah. Anyway, can you just repeat because I wasn't really listening. Oh,
everyone at home heard me.
Please.
You can then go back.
Please, can you just please just repeat? Just really quickly. Just don't do the whole 90 seconds. Just do.
For me, I still class these as embellishments.
Are you doing it?
So therefore.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realise you are doing it. Okay, go.
Would you make up your mind?
No, I didn't know whether you were doing it because you said you weren't going to do it, and then you started talking as if you were ignoring me. So
right, I'm not doing it now.
No, please go.
So I would still class these as embellishments, and because we're building our bouquet, it is more forgiving for you to then use your foam pads and start off by sitting them on, and then you start to play about with them. Whereas foam pads, it's more instant. You can do it with foam pads, but you have to have a direction as to where you're wanting to go with your Build-a-Bouquet. So therefore, with your glue gel, as I started there, I've laid them on, and then I can start to titivate them, move them around, get them into position, and for me, as I say, this is where the glue gel works best. And probably because you weren't listening, you do get a syringe in with them as well. I do like to use...
I heard that bit.
Yeah, you heard that bit, didn't you?
I think that's where I zoned back in again. People going, oops, Ben. Yeah, oops. No, I do listen most of the time, but sometimes I do have to kind of like zone out a little bit to concentrate because it is hard sometimes to read and then
you just catch yourself out. You make yourself look like a nunu nanny.
What did you say?
A nunu nanny.
What is a nunu nanny?
An idiot.
Oh, yeah.
On a Tuesday morning.
Lucy says, I heard you, Craig.
Thank you.
Yeah, but you guys didn't have to read and listen at the same time whilst listening, so sometimes you have to be a bit selective about what you do. I mean, a lot of the time, no, don't back me up, it's fine. It's fine. You've thrown me out there, I deserve all of the stuff that's coming at me now. A lot of the time, like you think, oh, he makes this look easy, and I do. You know, because I can listen, but sometimes on Tuesday morning, sometimes I have to be like, he's talking, so if I just go, yep, but then hang on a minute, my phone's going off again. Sorry, my watch is going off.
So you're not listening to me, your phone goes off, anything else? Do you want to take that call?
It's an 01325 number. Is that local?
I don't know, but we're live.
Okay.
Can I finish my card now?
Carry on, yeah. It's looking great. Just finish your card. Stop. Come on, for goodness sake. Come on. Hurry up.
So, Erin's just said that Kathy has been asking that, just wondering, how long does it take for the glue gel to dry? So, anything that is a wet base, I would always say leave overnight, certainly if you're going to post it. Now, what I'm creating now here, I would sit to the side for a good half an hour. What it's going to do is it's going to start to set, and then you're going to be able to freely move it about, maybe open it, put an insert or that in. But for it to be rock solid, for you to then post or give to the recipient, I would certainly wait till overnight. But then what I can then do is, if I want to, I've got an additional bow here. So to finish off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that extra bow down into here. And you know, now I have gone to town on the building that bouquet effect, but you can see there, goes to show how you can quite literally build your own bouquet. Keep it as subtle as you want, go to town as much as you want. Okay, I created my own background, but you could use your pattern paper. Maybe you don't want to use pattern paper at all. You want to create your own little tag. Maybe you want to then pop it into the corner of a scrapbook page or something along those lines. You don't just have to use them for your cards. And again, you don't just have to use the dies with the stamps to create the Build-a-Bouquet. If you do like your stenciling, you can do that with your dies. If you do like to do your masking, you can do that with just the stamps. So there's lots of ways you can then kind of intertwine them together if you want to.
I love the way as well that you use the chunky glue there when you built the bouquet, because I do find, you know, when you're using the chunky glue, just gives you a bit more manoeuvrability than when you're using the foam pads, of course.
Ring, 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 ring.
Lenny says, I love the relationship between these two guys. They are so funny. Karen says, pretty card. And Rhiannon says, Craig will have to keep that card now, Ben. Yeah, he's not going to give that to me now, is he, after all that malarkey? Because I didn't pay attention.
Twice. Do you know what you do want to pay attention to, Ben?
Don't nick the words of what they're saying in the gallery.
Stop it! I thought it was a good one as well. I thought I'd get away with that one.
You do it. Go. Sorry, so I've not paid attention to Craig.
You know what you do want to pay attention to, Ben?
What do I want to pay attention to, Craig?
This deal.
Great line, Craig. Seamlessly done. I liked it. I wish I had thought of that. Yes, you do want to pay attention to this deal because it's 65% off. It's the best price you've ever done it for. And pay attention to this deal and not the multi-buy, which might be available for you on the website, because bizarrely the multi-buy today is more expensive than all four. So you can get two for £23 on the multi-buy. However, as you can see on your screen right now, you can get the full collection for just £18 and 18 pence, $20.93. Or look at that platinum price, comes down even further for you as well. And as we've said, so super versatile. I love the fact that you can mix and match all of the different designs as well within the four collections to create the most beautiful bouquets. It's 117 elements for, well, a next to nothing price. And as you can see at the bottom of the screen, if you are new to us and you're not yet a Club Inspire member, if you sign up today and make this your first purchase, that price at the bottom of the screen will be yours. Other things that you might want to pop into your basket as well, if you want to be able to do some of your watercolor